different courses of sushi comes, more food comes on the train. So you don't really interact with anybody. You go there, you punch everything in, the food comes on the train, you take it off, and away you go. It was very, very cool. Never had seen anything quite like this, and I'm not sure that we'll see anything quite like this anytime soon in the Midwest. I guess we're not ready for this. Where else do we eat? A place downtown Honolulu called Little Pho. And Pho is a Korean restaurant. I'm sorry, a Vietnamese restaurant where they have the Vietnamese soup called Pho, P-H-O. And my wife had fried rice, and we also had some spring rolls on the side. But just a little bitty hole-in-the-wall place. We went after Mass on Saturday night, and basically ate Vietnamese food that night. By the way, Mass in Honolulu, a little bit different. It's your typical Roman rite. If you're a Roman Catholic, you know what I'm talking about. But they throw a lot of Hawaiian things in there, and everything here in Hawaii is a bit slower. The people seem to be very kind, very understanding of other people's thoughts, feelings, customs, whatever. But it was just a little different, a different type of vibe. And the church was right smack dab in the middle of downtown Honolulu, about 2 mile walk from our hotel. Where else should we eat? In fact, that sushi place was the last place we actually ate for lunch. The other times we just eat a later breakfast and an early dinner. We ate at a place called the Bombay Palace across the street from the Hilton here. Typical Indian food, just wonderful, wonderful food. We ate dinner on Monday night at the Chart House, and the Chart House is just what you think. It's a bar, and it's also a what do I want to say, a fish house. They've got a lot of fish there, fresh fish, and I had a nice mahi there when we ate there. We also went there for happy hour a time or two, where they have what might be, I think, is the best Mai Tai I've ever had. Mai Tai is a tropical drink with a bunch of different liqueurs and fruit juice and 2 types of rum. The Mai Tais here at the Hilton are fine, but the Mai Tais over at the Chart House are unbelievably fine. And they use a combination of Bacardi and Myers rum, both the silver and the dark, which is how you make a Mai Tai. But the difference between the Chart House Mai Tais and the Mai Tais every place else I've ever had them, the Chart House Mai Tai, they serve it in a pint beer glass. Yeah, a pint. A pint of Mai Tai. Friends, you have one of those for happy hour, and trust me, that's enough. So then you stumble to dinner after you're done with your happy hour. Tuesday night, last night, we had a luau, your typical Polynesian luau, which we learned a lot about the culture here. They have a nice luau here at the Hilton. We found, in fact, I never knew this, but all the Polynesian people, they all originated from Taiwan. That's right. That's where they all came from. Sailors from Taiwan came, and they just basically went out into the Polynesian islands and populated all the Polynesian islands with their folks from Taiwan, which is kind of why the Polynesian people look rather Asian, because they are. Dinner tonight. This is Wednesday. Like I said, this is Wednesday, late Wednesday morning right now. Trophy wife's at the pool. I'm here up in the room. Actually, not in the room, but on the balcony overlooking Waikiki Beach. And we've got a dinner cruise scheduled for tonight. And the dinner cruise is it's about 3 miles from here, so we'll take an Uber up to the next bay just west of here, and go on a nice dinner cruise tonight. Then we go to bed, get up early in the morning, leave here about 5 a.m., and it looks like we're going to be coming home to another snowstorm on Thursday. So we left just right after the Mother Nature dumped 12 inches of snow on us. We're going to come right into the teeth of another snowstorm, but I guess we shouldn't complain because right now we're just enjoying, we're sitting in the lap of luxury, enjoying this beautiful weather, beautiful scenery, beautiful fill in the blank. Everything's just wonderful. This vacation for me, usually I'm one to perfectly choreograph a vacation. We've got 18,000 things going on, never a dull moment. You never know if you're going to come back, so you have to see everything. Didn't do it this way this time. In fact, from the get-go, I thought I need a place to sit down, relax, and enjoy the weather. And basically, that's what we've done every day after breakfast. We go to the pool, we read, we take a nap. When the sun comes, when the sun warms up a little bit, we go into the pool, splash around, maybe take another nap. I will take off and go for a walk while the wife takes a third nap. That was my goal, to enjoy the warm weather and do lots of walking in the mild, beautiful weather. I have walked every day anywhere from 6 to 10 plus miles a day. I love walking. My motto always has been, the movement of the body clears the mind. When you're walking, you can just think about things that you can't think about normally when you're sitting. When the body is stationary, you can't think as well as when the body is in motion, at least with me. You think to yourself, well, strong, you can walk in St. Louis. Yeah, you can. Down the side of the street because there's a foot of snow on the sidewalk. And you got to bundle up so much you're like Nanu from the north and you can't even hardly move. Not in a shorts and t-shirt. And if the sun comes out, you take off the t-shirt. By the way, I am not taking any vitamin D tablets. No need, because I have the liquid sunshine is the best vitamin D known to man. But that was the goal. Enjoy the weather, relax, lots of walks, lots of good fresh fish, and fruit. And friends, it's been mission accomplished. We're in bed by 9 o'clock because coffee, Starbucks opens at 5:30, and friends, most every morning I'm there waiting for coffee at 5:30. Maybe a little later, but not much. Been to Starbucks every morning. One morning we did go to a place called Lampert's, which is a local place. But we went back to Starbucks. Lampert's was a bit overrated in my opinion, but that's another story for another day. But it's just been magical. You know, I'd love to say, like I like to say, you need to have the vacation of a lifetime 3 times a year. And this is number 1. Number 2 comes next month. We're going to South Beach. Number 3 will be in April. I'm planning a trip to Death Valley. So I will have had my 3 adventures of a lifetime by the end of April. But again, we came here for the weather. And the weather has certainly been the highlight of the whole trip. I mean, we left 12 inches of snow in St. Louis. We're going to have more snow when we fly home tomorrow. But it's never been any cooler than 68 degrees here. That's at night. The high has been anywhere from 78 on a cold day to 80 on a warm day. In other words, there are no cold days. 78 to 80. We had a little bit of rain yesterday, none of which to even leave the beach for. We just put the towel over our head until the rain stopped and took the towel off of our head. But the highlight has certainly been the weather. Absolutely perfect. The food, fresh fish and tropical fruit every day. Is it expensive? Yeah, kind of, but it doesn't matter because you just can't get that in St. Louis. Sure, you can go down to a place called, in Bob's Seafood or something in U City, and you can pick up fresh fish flown in that day, but it's going to be $50, $60 a pound. This isn't that, and it really is fresh because their buddy caught it that morning out in the ocean. Fresh fruit, same way. I mean, the pineapple, the coconut, the papaya they're perfectly fresh. They're unbelievably good. And you just can't get that in St. Louis. Those are the highlights. Another highlight, just staying here at the Hilton Hawaiian Village. I mean, Hilton does everything first rate. It just does. I will say that since the whole COVID thing, how can I put this? The pucker on the diamond status treatment, I'm lifetime diamond, it's waned just a little bit, but it's still stellar. I mean, it used to be that you got free breakfast. Now you get credit to use on other stuff that you got to keep track of because it expires at the end of the day. There are no more breakfast buffets. Everything's a la carte. There's no more executive lounge where you can have a happy hour at the end of the day, but you got to pay for that. But I digress. Still a wonderful property. Hilton's a wonderful company. That's the only place I stay. I really do like them. And plus, you're in the United States, even though it's like you're in a foreign country because it's so far away and the topography is so different. You're still in the United States. 808 area code, okay? Your phone service just works the same as it's going to be anyplace else. No roaming charges because you're in the U.S. The electricity is still the same. You don't have to worry about that. No power outages. You can drink the water. So it's like being on an international trip, but you're not on an international trip. You're in the 50th state of the Union. Lowlights. And there are some, okay? Most things here are very expensive, or they're just not available. And when I say not available, I mean, for instance, there's an ice cream shop here at the resort. No ice cream. They hadn't gotten a delivery. There was a bakery here in the resort. Didn't have any baked goods because they hadn't gotten a delivery. So they have supply chain problems, just like everybody else has. And everything has to be flown into here or brought in here on a boat. Most everything, because it's a very finite island, okay? Electricity is expensive here. Everything's expensive. Even if you can find it, it's still very expensive. For instance, I talked about the little dinner we had at the pho restaurant. So basically, I had pho, which is soup. My wife had fried rice. You know what fried rice is, and everyone knows what spring rolls are, okay? At your normal walk-in green china, happy wok, whatever, the walk-in place where most of it's carry out, but you can also sit there and eat. What's that going to cost you? A bowl of soup, or a fried rice, spring rolls. Friends, it was $60. And this was not at a resort. This was at a place where there were no tourists. This was downtown. That's where the locals ate. But that's just what it costs. I mentioned we went to a place called, every day was Starbucks. One time I went to a local place called Lampert's. I met a British gal on the elevator. She said, "You need to try it. It's wonderful. It's the 100% Kona coffee, etc." Honestly, the coffee wasn't as good as Starbucks. No offense, Kona fans, but it just wasn't. 2 medium coffees and 1 slice of mango bread. $18. Yeah, that's just what it costs. Everything's unbelievably expensive. Now, here on the resort, prices are a bit higher. But to be honest, they're not a bunch higher. They're not a whole lot higher than they are out where the normal people shop. So it's the cost of living is just so expensive here. But it's like anything else. Why does it cost so much to live here? The answer, maybe it's because it's worth it. The other drawback, the other downside to coming here, friends, it takes a really, really, really long time to get here. There's no getting on the plane, take a nap, you wake up and you're there. No. If there were direct flights from St. Louis to Honolulu, it would be a 10-hour flight. But there are no direct flights. On the way over, 2-hour layover. On the way home, a 4-hour layover. And you lose 4 hours of time, too. So Thursday, when we go home, 7:15 in the morning is when our plane takes off. We don't get home till 12:05 the next day. 12:05 in the morning, okay? Because you lose 4 hours plus a 4-hour layover plus 10 hours. There you go. That's just how long it takes.